First of all, because without the volunteers, the facilities themselves can't afford to do any of the infrastructure improvements. So we have to do it. So without bodies, we just can't do it. So even people who aren't really skilled, that's okay. They have a good heart and a desire to help. We can put them to work, and they will do things that nobody else will do if they don't do it. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, they're human, and as a result, we've got all these children here at the orphanage that are without families, and they need that one-on-one love and care. And anybody who comes down, any of the volunteers that come down, can certainly provide that. In fact, that's one of the main things that we ask, is that people give of their heart and give love to those kids that need it.
Families have tremendous experiences here. It just unites them. It causes them to, we've been told time and time again, when they go back, their children quit murmuring. They don't complain about their food. They don't complain about lack of activity, and they don't have the internet working, or they don't have a smartphone or the like, because they see what the orphans don't have and how happy they are. So it's a wonderful thing for families. And one of the things that I've seen that has been a wonderful experience for families is reunions, family reunions. And so we've had grandparents bring as many as 50 or 60 of their posterity to the orphanages, and it's a uniting, wonderful experience. Some of them have a reunion every year or every couple of years, and have told us they've never had a reunion that has produced the fruits and the happiness and joy that they've seen happen at the orphanages.
There are a lot of children in the world, millions, hundreds of millions of children by UN estimates, that are seriously at risk. And what that means is they're orphaned, they're abandoned, they live so far below the poverty line that putting a meal on the table is a question mark every day. And as adults, especially adults that have some substance, some means of support, I think we have a real responsibility to go out and look for those children and find them. Even though we're not going to be able to affect the hundreds of millions of children, but if all adults with some means were willing to do this, we really could make a difference in the world. So I just see this as a responsibility. These children need us. If not us, there is nobody. And that's what you learn when you work internationally. So we show up, their lives get better. We don't show up, that never happens. And so I think it's a blessing and a responsibility for us.
You know, this is a great opportunity so you can teach your kids, you know, about sharing, about what it's God done in your life, and what God is telling you to go out and help out. But our biggest needs right now, as far as construction, is to get this kitchen done, because we currently have around 80 kids, and we just cannot have them all of it there at the same time. And when it rains and we got some people over, we just cannot do anything. So that's one of the main things in here, is to build this. And one of our dreams is to have a baby dorm, and we need to build that up too, because our buildings are not designed to have babies, but we would like to have babies, because it's something that we really love and we think that we can do it. But without having the facilities, then we cannot have them yet.
One of the missions we feel we have is to eliminate as much misery as we can in life, and so orphans need support. The Bible talks about that pure religions to visit the fatherless and the widows, and so in a sense it becomes a religious experience for us to be able to go and bless the lives of those children and eliminate as much misery as we can in their life by building them better facilities, by playing with them, by helping them understand what they need to do in order to go on when they get out of the orphanage and get a good job and get married and sustain life as it ought to be sustained, with joy and happiness and pleasure. It's appropriate.
For us as a family, it's been really important to come out and serve together and work side by side by my kids. There's really nothing more fulfilling than helping others with your children by your side.
I personally got involved with the Child's Hope Foundation primarily because 3 of my kids are adopted, and at the time my only 2 children were adopted. And I recognized that for me, anybody could be my child. The child didn't have to look like me, have the same skin color as me. My 3 adopted children are biracial. And so for me, anybody could be my child. And I recognized that. And so for me, I wanted to go and make a difference, because my love for my children is stronger than I ever thought it could be. And so I wanted to make sure that I was doing some good for some children. And also I'm inspired. I'm inspired by the volunteers. I mean, they show up and they are willing to work so hard and sacrifice and love and care for. And in many respects, my weaknesses, I watch them exhibit their strengths, and it's just a wonderful experience. So I got involved primarily because I felt like I could make a difference and I wanted to make a difference. And I think I've been able to make a difference, and so has every volunteer that's come down here. Whether they know it or not, they make a difference.
It's a ton of manual labor, and people say, well, why do you want to come on your vacation and just stucco and lay concrete and do a bunch of manual labor? But for us, Lena and I, it's been the most rewarding thing we've done is take our kids and surf side by side and do hard work. We live in such an area it's pretty cush, it's easy. Their life is easy, really. And to come out and do hard things and teach our kids that they can do hard things and we can do it right with them is really fulfilling and rewarding for us.
It has blessed my family's life. So service here at the orphanage has blessed my family's life tremendously as they participated with me. My children come down on, at least one of my children on each trip. And I've got children now who, like many others who have volunteered here, when given the choice between Disneyland and here, they choose here every time. So they've grown up with it, and as a result, they have much more of a global perspective than maybe they would otherwise. They understand how much good they can do, as opposed to perhaps in the place that they live feeling like they're just one of many, many very similar teenagers. They're really not. Nobody is. They come down here and they recognize that fact. They realize what they can do. So for my family, it's been a huge blessing just watching them grow and develop that notion that I can make a difference. I have a desire, my heart has a desire to do some good. I can do something with that, and the world can be a better place because I do something with it instead of just dreaming about it and wanting to, you know, with the desire, that's great, but you got to do something. They understand the do part.
I mean, the group here is so fun, and being able to just interact with people all over from the United States and being able to help and do things I've never done before, like learning how to tile or learning how to spackle. I've never done that. So I'll tell them those things, but also tell them about the kids and how they are just filled with love and, you know, a desire to do well in the world. And so give them that hope, and I'm definitely going to try to drag people down here again with me.
Each trip I'm enriched by the relationships I have with the kids, by the relationships I gain with the volunteers, other volunteers, and just from the experience overall. It's just a very enriching experience.
I want to make an invitation for all those that are thinking and looking a place to help. Come down, and here is a great opportunity, and it'll be a pleasure for us to have you over here.
Take a leap of faith and get here, because it's actually super easy to show up. It was the making the choice to come here that seemed a little bit more difficult because it was unknown to me, and I thought going into Mexico that feels stressful.
I'd say come. It's a great experience, and it's something that when you get back home, you're way more grateful for everything that everything else you have, because here they don't have as much as we do in America, and when you get back to your home, you realize how grateful you are for everything.
I would say absolutely do it. I'd say coming down, it's not a waste of your time at all. It's 100% worth it. And just to be down here with these wonderful children who need love and need just to know that there are people from all over that will love and support them, but also they need help with building this home. That they know the caretakers need to take care of the kids, and so they need help building up this homes and building up. So I would say come, and get ready to serve and work and go to bed exhausted, which, you know, it's always good to go to bed exhausted. You know you did hard work. So if you don't feel like you have anything to offer, I promise you do. Everyone has something to offer. I mean, I come back, I have no construction history in me. All I can do is, but I can love people and I can work hard. And so if you don't feel like you can offer something, you can. There are things for you to do and children that need to be played with.